Thank you, Adam. It's a pleasure being here. I love the whole concept of omega-3s. It is the easiest and the most fun nutrient to talk about. And you know, yesterday you heard how consumer interest in omega-3s is going down. Well, I'm about to tell you the good news is it's going to go up. And I'm about to enter one of the most exciting projects of my life, and that is Dr. Omega III goes to the hospital. So let's enjoy kind of a fun little trip on how Dr. Omega III is going to the hospital. I'd like to begin with introducing you to my imaginary partner in medical practice, Dr. Omega III. And this is how we doctors think when we prescribe or advise nutrients or supplements. And the good thing about omega-3s, it's probably the only nutrient that you can actually say it's the best nutrient for all organs at all ages. PR firms take note of that. It's the nutrient for all ages and all organs. It's the head-to-toe nutrient. This is why my partner is a neurologist, an ophthalmologist, a cardiologist, a dermatologist, a rheumatologist, immunologist, gastroenterologist, whatever ologist you need, Dr. Omega-3 is there. Now, Dr. Omega-3 is going to the hospital. I'm working on a book. It's all complete. It is now ready for distribution. And this will be about a 100-page booklet. And this is the cover of it, just as you see it. Now, this book will be given free of charge to every parent whose child is entering a children's hospital. Wow. And then we're going to follow this, after we do a pilot, with a book, Help Your Newborn Heal, for every baby that's born in every hospital in North America. And then we're going to follow this with Help Your Loved One Heal, for every person at all ages that goes into the hospital for any type of major procedure. Now, let me see how there we go. Now, I'm partnering with Children's Miracle Network. I think we're having a little technical problems there. How are we doing back there, Justin? There we go. Now, I'm going to take you now into the book. And this is the chapter in the book on Dr. Omega-3 visits the hospital. I'm here to help you heal. Now, I'm partnering with Children's Miracle Network, Children's Hospital Miracle Network. They are the largest children's charity in the world. They have 172 children's hospitals in North America. Every second, a child enters a hospital in North America. So this book will be given free of charge. It's being all underwritten by donations. I have a foundation standing in line for this. It will be given to every parent whose child enters the hospital. Now, if you've ever had a child enter the hospital, you'll notice that the first thing that comes to your mind, I get this all the time, Dr. Bill, what can I do to help my child heal? And one of those big things is what supplements, what nutrients can help your child heal. Now, if we get the video working here a little bit, we can now take you through this. But basically, in the supplement section, we have the 5S healing diet. Seafood, spices, smoothies, salads, and supplements. And so we have the Help Your Child Heal. Now, let's go to the next one if we can get this to work. How we do? Anyway, If we can't get it to work, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Now, the great thing about talking about omega-3s is it's a natural healer. And the slide that's supposed to be on here, I hope Justin can get it working, is one of the biggest causes of children entering the hospital is traumatic brain injuries. Injuries from soccer, from football, traumatic brain injuries. And the picture, it's a funny picture in the book, and the book is very humorous, but not childish, because you want parents who are already stressed out so much to be able to get the message in a very unstressed way. And I'm hoping that Justin can fix our little glitch here. So it starts with how omega-3s wrap around the nerve and bandage the sick nerve. How they get into the nerve and help it heal. And it starts out with omega-3s help tissues grow, they help tissues repair, and they help tissues heal. So the main message that the reader and consumer gets from this booklet is, there you go, just almost, is how omega-3s help the tissues heal. And we got a brief glimpse there for a minute. And then, so that's one of the most exciting projects I have ever worked on. And over the next year, we envision around 1 million copies of this free booklet will be given to parents whose children are entering the hospital. Now, while we're fixing the AV, are there any questions about this particular project? Because I think this is an exciting way to get omega-3s where they should be. They are a healing nutrient. They are a preventive medicine nutrient. The science is there. And in fact, the book opens by, "We are show me the science doctors." And that's the exciting part of it. Show me the science doctors. And somebody can help Justin to show him the science on getting things to work. But so any questions you have about this Help Your Child Heal project, Help Your Newborn Heal project, and Help Your Loved One Heal, over the next couple years, there will be probably millions of these books distributed. Yes, we'll do questions while we're fixing the AV. Yes, Randy?
We got a microphone over here.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Anticipate interest from hospitals outside of the network?
Yes, we'll start with 172 hospitals. And that's called a pilot. And then we'll get feedback through email from all of those parents who read the book to help their child heal. And then following that feedback we get from those hospitals, it'll then be open to all the hospitals within the country. Yes. There's another question back there. Yes.
I have a question over here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm over to your left.
Oh, there you go. Okay, got it.
This looks like a great program. How can we help get this word out?
All right. Good question. How can we help? This is something we had a little meeting this morning. This is something I'm working out with Ellen and Adam and their PR firm. We're trying to tie GOED into this because there is in the book credits to the healers, credits to the contributors. And at some point, I think this will be self-sustaining by contributions. But at some point, we would want GOED perhaps to be mentioned. You know, GOED, if you think about it, GOED, Global Organization for Education. All right? And this is sort of my contribution to GOED is to help the educational value of GOED. How are we doing, Justin? Any ideas on how we can? Okay, so what we'll do then, we'll go to the next, in addition, so we won't have visuals, In addition, what we're also doing is putting omega-3s in all of our books. So I want you now, I'm going to draw a mental picture. The Healthy Pregnancy book, which is the next slide, okay? The Healthy Pregnancy book, there's a mom with a big belly and an apple on the belly. And when you open the section on what to eat, the current recommendations for pregnancy are woefully low. And I researched this pretty highly, and in our medical practice, we teach a gram a day for a pregnant mom. So on the imaginary slide you see here, there is a baby talking to the mother in the womb. A baby in the womb, and the baby is saying, "Mommy, a gram a day. Mommy, eat enough omega-3s for both of us." So the baby is talking to the mommy. Now you turn the page, and there's another little diagram on the baby is reminding the mommy, "Mommy, you're growing a little fat head." The brain is 60% fat. What's one of the top fats? DHA. Baby, you're growing a little fat head. So throughout the book, we're using funny and cute ways to get them to remember. And the reason that I'm using more cartoons in my books is there's a whole science opening up. It's called emotional arousals, which simply means if they laugh, they will buy. So if you want to introduce a subject, if I want to make an impression on a parent to give their kids and their babies more omega-3s, I say to them, "You are growing a little fat head." And they'll remember that, growing a little fat head. Now, in the next book, imagine the slide here, I have a new book coming out called The Inflammation Solution. And in one of the cartoons, a rather portly person is coming into McDonald's and saying, "I'll have a double bacon cheeseburger with fries." And the person behind the counter says, "Would you like fish oil with that?" Making the point that omega-3s help blunt the postprandial effects called glycemia and lipemia. It's a blunting. One of the greatest things about eating fish, you don't get spikes. And the two classic words for avoiding inflammation, and we've got a real epidemic of inflammation out there, is spikes. We spike. That's inflammation from a pediatrician's simple way. Avoid spikes, and that's what omega-3s do. So we have in our book, "Would you like fish oil with your double bacon cheeseburger and fries?" And then another way we go into the Help Your Child Heal book, we take parents on a trip through a blood vessel. So I want you to imagine a blood vessel here. Because, as Bill Lanza many times says, the tissue is the issue. Healing tissue needs blood supply. If you don't have good blood supply, you're not going to heal. And what is the number one nutrient that keeps blood flowing, not sticky, that keeps the lining of your arteries unsticky? It's omega-3s. So we've got a picture of the little omega-3s floating through the bloodstream and keeping the blood cells from sticking together. So the parents reading that said, "Oh, when I feed my child omega-3s, they get more blood flow to the healing tissues." So the moral of the story is they equate taking omega-3s with healing. And then for the kids, it's written so the kids can read it from 8 on up. We show a blue fish sliding down a water slide, because kids can relate to water slides. So you picture there's a water slide here with a big blue fish sliding down it. And they're taught in the book, when you eat more omega-3s, the blood flows to your healing leg or to your healing arm like fish on a water slide. They get it. Your blood's less sticky, so you heal better. And then it goes on to the next slide is, and this is a tribute to Michael Crawford here. Michael and I had the privilege of giving a talk together in Japan last June, and we called it the Scientist and the Simpleton Talk. And Michael obviously was a scientist. And so I had a slide. I wanted to teach the audience on what I think is one of the greatest effects. There's always an argument, which is the greatest effect of omega-3s? Is it the brain or the heart? I think the brain is winning a bit because for the first time in history, neurodegenerative diseases have overcome cardiovascular disease as the #1 ailment in America for the first time in history. But the heart is a close second. So I have a slide showing the blood vessel of a person with omega-3 insufficiency, we call it. And that person's blood vessel is narrow, and there's sticky stuff that accumulates on the walls of the blood vessel. And there's sticky stuff that accumulates on the tops of the medicine bottles, your endothelial pharmacy. That won the Nobel Prize, incidentally, that we are a giant walking pharmacy inside the endothelium. So a person with omega-3 insufficiency, their pharmacy is shut down. And the analogy I gave in Japan was like a dirty river with garbage in it, so the sludge accumulates on the riverbank. But then I showed a slide of a healthy artery. And the healthy artery, we got it. Thank you, Justin. Good hand. So let's go back. I just want to show you a few of these. This is how we teach kids that the blood flow in your brain, when you eat more omega-3s, you have more blood flow like a water slide. This is how we teach them that omega-3s, like bandages, wraps around the nerve. Meg, the myelin maker, is in the book, and it treats the nerves. So this is, again, science made simple, stretched a little bit, yes, but they understand it that way. And then next, so we have the water slide, the pregnancy book, and we say, here's how I arrived at the 1,000 milligrams a day. You just do the math. And so our recommendation that we have in the book is, Mommy, my brain is going through a growth spurt. I need more omega-3s. Remember the old saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words? Mothers will get this. And the next, Mommy, you're growing a little fat head. They get that and remember it. Eat enough omega-3s for both of us. 1 gram a day, I say. So this is in the books that the moms are going to be reading in the Help Your Child Heal. In the Help Your Child Heal book, this is all in color, in living color. Okay, in the inflammation solution, I'm here to help put out your itis fires. Dr. Omega-3 goes into the inflammation ward in the hospital. And, as I mentioned, do you want fish oil with your double bacon cheeseburger with fries? All right. Now, the next topic is using omega-3s in medical practice. And I use it in 2 ways. One, to motivate breastfeeding mothers to eat better, to eat more omega-3s. Here's a patient who came in, and she came in with her husband prenatally, and her husband was an investment banker. And I said, well, how would you like to make the best investment in your child's future? And he's thinking annuities and money in the bank and all that. I said, no. It's what goes into your baby's mouth, that goes into your baby's brain. The higher the nutrient value of your wife's milk, the better that baby brain is going to grow, and he got it. Nobody ever talked to him about making an investment in his baby's brain by simply eating more omega-3. But so this mom comes in, and I measured her breast milk. Whoops, sorry. Let's go here. Measured her breast milk. The omega-3s in the breast milk, complements of Bill Harris here. And you have Nutrisource and Omega Quant as two great sources of the measurement. And she was low. 6 weeks later, after 1,000 milligrams a day for 6 weeks to 2 months, way up here, you can imagine how this mother felt. She had tears in her eyes. She looked, wow, wow. So what I'm eating actually affects my baby. They get it. We need to be using this more in medical practice. It's a great way. I want you all out there to try to get your healthcare providers to use this more often. Now, this is what I was talking about in the pharmacy that's closed and the pharmacy that was open. This is the endothelial pharmacy open. The little megs riding on the blood cells, and the blood cells, like little boats, just smooth right through the artery, and the medicine bottles are open because megs keep them open. Here's endothelial pharmacy, in omega-3 insufficiency, not enough little omegas, pharmacy's closed. And I'm giving this talk in Japan through an interpreter. Now, if you've ever given a talk through an interpreter, you wonder, are they saying the same thing you are? You have no idea. So pretty soon, you learn to read the audience. So I look at the audience, and as I'm talking about this, and they see this, they're going like this on their face. And then we get up here, and they say, wow, wow. And they were using the term doro doro in Japan, which means garbage in the river. And here, sara, which means a clean river. So I could tell by the expression on their faces when I was talking about doro doro and sara sara. So these are why I have so much fun talking about omega-3s, because you can use this type of fun approach to make a difference. And for those of you who want to learn more about using a simpler approach to talk about omega-3s and a fun approach, especially for your healthcare providers, because as I say, over the next year, Dr. Omega III is going into the hospitals as a doctor for all organs at all ages. And it's right here in the Omega-3 book, which I hope you all will enjoy more. And now we have plenty of time for questions, and thank you, Justin, for fixing the AV. Yes, thank you. I am pathologically punctual, so I told I'd be right on time. Yes, go right away. We have about 5 minutes for questions there.
Hi, I was just wondering if there's any randomized trial data in children with regard to omega-3 and traumatic brain injury.
A little bit louder, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just wondering if there's any trial data, randomized placebo-controlled trials in children in particular, but for omega-3 as treatment for traumatic brain injury more generally.
Are there any trials?
Yes, sir.
Not yet, but speaking of that, we could distribute 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 books and do a double-blind, placebo-controlled study. I'm just giving you my opinion on this. I think the time has come to start using the science more. Then we need to continue it. But we've got the science to help your child heal. So what we will do, though, is it's a good question, we will be getting feedback from the parents. It will be very hard to do a scientific study on this because there are many, many, many healers within the book that So is it the omega-3s? Is it the more salads? Is it the more movement? We talk about movement, opening your... So this will be a tough study to do, but that would be wonderful to do it. I hope we can, yes. Any other questions on how omega-3s help heal, using omega-3s in medical practice? And then I will end then with a little encouragement for you. I think I think in the next 2 or 3 years is the greatest opportunity you have to get omega-3s in medical practice. And here's the reason. Medicine is in a mess right now, as you know. It's still a wonderful profession. I have 3.5 children in it. Still one to put through medical school completely. And what is happening, though, is called volume-oriented medicine. Translation, doctor, you're going to be reimbursed less, so you're going to have to see more patients per unit time. The term doctor means teacher. It meant teacher. Nowadays, it means prescriber. So the current model that we've all taught and used was the pills and skills model. Doctor, what can I take and what can I do? Now, because the doctor has lack of time, can only prescribe. Here's what you take, here's what you take. So the opportunity is ripe for you all to give the doctor handout pamphlets, handouts on here. Here's why you should be taking omega-3s. I don't have time to tell you why. It's all in the pamphlet. So I think you have a great opportunity to use the current medical system that is lacking the time to teach to you supplying doctors and all healthcare providers with good informed knowledge, easy to hand out to their patients, that just about every patient walks out of every doctor's office with one thing in their mind: I need to be eating more omega-3s to help myself and my family heal. And that's my prescription for all of you, to get out there and do it. Take it and do it. Thank you.